The science in pharma, well, it's rock solid. But out in the mainstream, well, it's getting twisted, filtered and fed back to patients as bite-sized, out-of-context half-truths. And the cost of that misinformation? Well, potentially catastrophic. In this episode of Off Label, I sit down with Natasha Hansjee and Dario Safaric to unpack why pharma simply can't stay silent on this one, and how a new industry event called the Next Medical Festival is rallying the industry to fight back. This one isn't about brand, it's about trust. And the future of global health is at stake. Stick around, you don't want to miss this one. Well, I'm so excited for this episode of Off Label as we've got two of my favourite people in pharma joining me. First up, Natasha, one of the most recognised and most likeable human beings in global medical affairs, and the rookie Tim Tam Slammer of 2025. Natasha, welcome to the Off Label podcast.
Thank you. Very excited to be here.
Have you ever had an intro like that?
I'm like, you've stunned me now into silence.
I like to put everyone on the back foot straight away. I can't do that to Dario, though, because I just realised, Dario, you're the first guest we've had back on the Off Label podcast, the first one to be here twice. So a milestone for you and the podcast. How have you been, mate?
Yeah, doing good. Won't complain. Looking forward to another great episode.
Yes, you're one of the busiest men in town. You've just finished up next Vienna conference, and now we've got our eyes set on another event that we're going to talk about shortly. But before we do, I just wanted to maybe touch on a thing. You could probably tell, and the listeners will tell quickly, that Natasha, Dario and I are we enjoy a good time and sharing a joke, but something that's definitely beyond the joke at the moment and not at all funny in any capacity is misinformation in healthcare. And I want to jump straight into that now. As Natasha, you've got a session coming up at that event that I mentioned before, which we'll go into a bit of detail later. But you've got a session, I think you're leading off on day 2. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the essence behind this particular session. Now, I personally love the direction of it because the session title alone, people are just going to love if you like any sort of drama, because it does sound like a Hollywood thriller. And that is digitized dependence driving doctors' truths? So it's not just clever alliteration, but it's not fiction either. This is reality. So Natasha, could you give us a brief background as to what this session is about and why it's so important and topical right now?
Thank you, Steve. Yes. So everything that I say is my own opinion, of course.
Of course.
And I am absolutely delighted to do this session together with Keith Rees from Bayer, and also the man himself, Vernon Baton, who's actually one of the key authors of the Havas report, Dr. Truth. So that's where the evidence all comes from, and we're very evidence-based.
Yeah.
It's a topic that's been close to my heart as we look into how misinformation, in the terms of misinformation in the umbrella term, so inaccurate information that both is or isn't with harmful intent. So disinformation included, malinformation included. And this whole concept of using AI today, which I love. I mean, you know how much I'm engaged with AI.
Just prior to this call, I heard you having a conversation with it. That's how much you love it.
Yes, I had to do a chat GPT to come up with a good movie title.
Don't give it away. You got to claim the credit for that later.
And I think there's a big double-edged sword to AI because it's a really powerful accelerant. It's 24/7. We can use it, but it can also be used in a way that isn't really beneficial for us. And I say us in the general term, because we all use it. And I think there's a general, some of the data shows that 1/3 of the health content online is actually misinformation, which is a hell of a lot.
It's astounding, particularly when you're not as informed as what some people in the industry may be. How do you know where to go, and how do you know what you're reading is what to believe? So just on that report, we're going to put a link to it in the comments below, because the Dr. Truths by Havas links is just next level. It's so truly shocking. And the video that goes along with it, if it doesn't make you sit up and really start paying attention, then nothing will. It's great to hear you've got my good friend Kish on the panel with you.
I mean, the thing that we've seen and heard several podcasts. Also, Paul Sims had them over doing a session. So I think that there's a lot of data out there. A lot of people have seen and read the report. So this whole session at this event that we haven't mentioned yet.
Yeah.
is really going to be about call for action. And this is not some Erin Brockovich style. It is really, what can we as individuals do and what can we collaboratively as pharma do? And create this movement to say we are all responsible and we need to be using AI responsibly.
I love the idea. I love the idea of a movement and really rallying the people around the cause to somehow work together and find a way forward. Because, it's dangerous, but in your opinion, where on the scale of danger is the pandemic of misinformation right now? Is it truly catastrophic, or is it manageable, or can we find a way? Where are we at?
I personally believe it's truly catastrophic, and I really like the quote that came from the FDA Commissioner Robert Califf a few years ago, who said, well, I don't like it, it's shocking, but he said that healthcare misinformation is the leading cause of death in the US. And this was 2022. When I just look at the data, there isn't data showing what the cost is to healthcare, but I think that's quite a strong statement. There is data showing what COVID did in the US, and it's estimated about 300 million a day alone from misinformation. This is not just about money. This is about the cost to lives in patients who aren't being treated, patients who aren't being diagnosed, and treatments that are stopped, lower adherence, and then this whole concept of workload increase with HCPs because they're now spending a lot of their time trying to sort of debunk this data that's coming in from patients, and just this general trust aspect, which has severely eroded. I think pharma is, in the Harvest report, I think they said that it's like well beyond the oil industry, which is bad, right?
Oh, gosh.
Trump. So,
it's astounding. And you mentioned the economics of the entire thing, and it's kind of equally as astounding to me how in governments, you talk about the US alone, $300 million a day. When governments can get across these sorts of numbers, why there isn't a bigger imperative for them to counter this, because the costs to their economy is obviously measurable and dire. So to that, they're obviously not. There's obviously some governments that may be trying. There's some governments that probably clearly have no interest in managing misinformation. What can pharma do? Is pharma the key ingredient here? Are we just talking about it? You talk about building a community, but what's been holding pharma back till now? What are our challenges? Is it simply compliance? Is it that we don't have the reputation or the trust to do something ourselves? How can pharma do something here?
I think there's small steps we can do and bigger steps. So I think when we create materials, we do ensure that they're really well sourced and those are true and reliable sources that we're using. When we think about publications with impact factors and the whole editorial aspects that go into reviewing, I think that's already a good place. With AI, it's really hard because if we're not creating materials that are for the general public in a language that they understand, that these machine customers are fed with information, perhaps gaps that they can hallucinate on, but then there's also an aspect of false information out there that we are not really speaking to. It's always been, oh, well, it will go away. But we need to go out there and own that message, and we need to do it fast. I truly believe that we can't just let things lie, because when you do let things lie, you'll have a really, really fast proliferation happening of the misinformation. And so what can we do? So as individuals, if we can really think about what are the steps we can individually do when we ask ourselves questions, when we use AI, where does this come from? Are there any credible sources out there that also state this? Am I using ChatGPT? Yes. Is it using Reddit as a key source? Yes. Am I aware of that? Yes. And then I frame it in that way, so I'm not just taking it on blindly. And this literacy of understanding what you're doing and how you're doing it is really important from an individual perspective. From a pharma perspective, that's what we really want to do with this movement, is what can we collectively do to have a bigger power and share voice, because we all have a part to play.
Indeed, and it sounds like health literacy is going to be underscored or underpinned by AI literacy, if that makes sense, or the ability to use it correctly. So you talk about a movement, you've got your session at the next medical festival, and how is this session in particular going to maybe be the catalyst to trigger action from the group in the room? You talk about a community. Who in the room, who attends, what are they in for? Are they going to be empowered, motivated to walk away? What's the next step after this session?
Yeah, they are actually empowered to walk away unless they're actually going to sign on to do something. So we only
Okay, so
want
it's a
people who are
commitment.
Yes.
And right. So you're and
It's,
hopefully everyone who doesn't sign on gets shamed and spotlights and things like that. Because that's the sort of next way, isn't it? It's a little bit different and stands out from the crowd, and they push the envelope a little bit in a different direction. So it probably provides a really good opportunity to bring you into the conversation, Dario. And now we've kind of lit the fire talking about the types of sessions and the types of content that people will be talking about at the event. Let's talk about your event in particular. Next Medical Festival, just saying you've got Next AI and CX, you've got your Hallmark event in Dubrovnik, you've got a fantastic up-and-coming event in Australia. I was fortunate enough to attend. And now the Next Medical Festival. So tell us about it and why. What's going to make it different from the other medical affairs conferences around the world?
Yeah, thanks, Steve, for the question. Well, basically, I never wanted to do a medical related event, to be honest, because all of the rest of the three mentioned at Next events is all about cross functionality and how to make the customer impact from pharma as maybe the greatest industry, right? However, when I thought about further why medical is important and why medical should have a separate event, I really thought that medical, who became the third pillar in pharma, deserves to celebrate the whole engagement levels and the whole impact which medical is providing at the end of the day. So that's why we also simply didn't just replicate it, what we do on the three events. We basically reinvented the event from scratch and even call it festival, which means in a smaller, cozy setup with maximum 120 people, we would like to celebrate medical. And mainly from this perspective, customer experience in medical excellence, cross-functional collaboration, super critical, right? AI and tech, and how can we embed that, and building capabilities in medical, and also some other medical-related topics. So basically, this is the intention, this is the plan, and somehow we would like to bring the traditional Next taste and flavor to our medical festival as well.
Brilliant. I actually was going to ask you that a little bit later, the story behind the festival, because it automatically, it just stands out. Go, what's going on? But yeah, you're right. The medical affairs function, Natasha could speak to it a lot better than I would, but it has evolved at a pretty, maybe not as fast as AI, but at a pretty serious clip over the last 5 years. More roles, more responsibilities, and than ever before. So it should be celebrated. But you're also right that it's time to get down to business. And okay, we are the third pillar now. So what? What do we do with this additional responsibility? So, I mean, I love Next because of its vibe. Music, fireworks, the bold formats with the debates and people going head to head and measured. You have a winner, you have a loser. There's it's not everyone gets a prize sort of thing. What's the sort of vibe for this one coming up? Is it similar? And what are the attendees can expect to see that they won't get at any other medical conference?
Yeah, definitely. We definitely would like to keep this vibe and atmosphere, which people are actually used to at our Next events. By the way, Natasha never was on the Next conference, so she
This is your first Next?
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, how great.
I mean, I think you're the only one in the industry, right? Just kidding.
It's not many left.
Just kidding. Well, basically, we would still like to keep that flavor and vibe. However, we would also like to do the things differently at our medical festival, because we really identified that we can't just simply replicate what we do and squeeze the lemon in another fourth event. So that's why, for instance, for the very first time, instead of very fast-paced agenda, which has like 20-25 minute sessions and presentations, we will go to sessions which are between 35 and 40 minutes, so that we really like deep dive into the particular topic.
So that's different. That's not stands outside the usual format.
It is. Also, what we will do for the very first time, we will basically separate the 2 days into 4 building blocks, which means in the first half of the first day, we will speak about the medical landscape. In the second half of the first day, we will speak about building the medical core. Then we will have the after party, the most important thing. Then in the first half, in the second day, we will speak about rather, from going from theory to practice. Then my favorite part, at the end or the second half of second day, we will do a blueprint where everyone in the room, so those 120 people, will sit together, create a blueprint, and somehow commit ourselves for the upcoming 12 months. So basically, I think it's quite unique. And to be honest, we also never have done this before. But this is what I wanted to say. We would like to reinvent how medical events should look like. Let's see.
I mean, we've all been to our fair share of these types of events, and Natasha, you and I included, and that does tend to be a really unfortunate reality. You go to these events, you get really inspired, you hear so much, you go back to your job, your boss didn't go, your colleagues didn't go, they're not across it, you've got KPIs to meet and a very long to-do list, and the momentum you often lose, and all your great intentions do dissipate into the. But if we can find a way to really tie people down and commit and somehow have check-ins to see how people are tracking, I'm not sure how it's managed, but that's how you're going to get progress. So many good things and so many insights are uncovered and points of view that can really drive change at these things. It's time to do something different. So applaud you on that one. So we've talked about some of the session types. We've talked about the format, and let's just talk about a few more of the guests. Natasha, you said Kish, my good mate Kish, is coming. I think he was the first guy I ever interviewed for another event.
He's amazing.
Once. He's good, but you've got to get in, because that guy can talk underwater with a mouthful of marbles, and you can tell him I said that personally. Do we have any other speakers spring to mind that you're looking forward to hearing from in particular? Either of you? No one's going to say it's favourites or anything like that. Just,
Are we allowed to bring him?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, Michelle's going to be there. She's always got good speaker.
Michelle Breidenbach, fabulous.
Yeah, there's a couple of old faces in the sense of long term.
Yes, yes, of course. Not in terms of profile photos on LinkedIn. I get it.
I think it's a good crowd that Dario's pulled together, and I think it's also because this is done so differently. And like you said, Steve, we've been to enough of these medical affairs congresses where it's same and not different. So I'm really excited about what Dario's set up, and it really feeds into what we want to do for this session as well.
Certainly got a sense of about it that you'll be missing out if you're not in the room for this one. It sounds like it's the start of something that could grow into a bit of a movement, and to be there at the embryonic stage of that would be a really worthwhile exercise from what it sounds like. So we've had a little bit of fun throughout the call, but let's finish on a bit of a laugh as well, like we tend to do here at Off Label. And we compare events and sessions and companies to films or genres of films. We'll start off with you, maybe, Dario. And if the next medical festival was what you envisage it to be, if that was a film genre, what genre or film would that be?
That's a very tough question. Next time you should send me the questions in advance.
I did. Do you want to go and get on ChatGPT? Natasha's got this, and you can come in afterwards.
I actually did mine a bit differently. I did it for our session.
Maybe.
Yes, no, you should. I wanted to hear your session, what that's going to be like, because I'm so intrigued about it. I think it deserves it.
You know, like Batman's Beginning from Christian.
Hey,
nice one.
Well, Batman was a scientist, right? So you're bringing the scientific element. It's dark. It's dark.
You can call on him.
Yep. AI is Gotham City. It's it's unpredictable. There's things happening. It's wow. Gee, you're good on the spot, mate. Hats off.
It will be a drama.
Righto. Natasha, your session.
Yeah, so it's actually a combination of 3 films that sort of came to mind with, as I said, the help of ChatGPT, because I'm really terrible at titles. But The Matrix is one that, you have these hidden realities, a quest to awaken people to the truth, right? And you got Minority Report, which is really this futuristic technology. It's actually here, but it's evolving so fast. And a proactive report, right, to preventing misinformation before it spreads. And then the Avengers. So, a team of heroes all at the next medical festival who unite to combat a common cause. So, it fits nicely with the Batman thing. And actually, ChatGPT also gave me a title of what this merge film could look like. And it was Reality Unleashed, The Guardians of Truth.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, I think
Natasha, who's Thanos?
Sorry?
Who's Thanos? I mean, the evil. Who's that?
Good question.
Oh, we could. That might have to be an offline, off-label conversation.
Okay.
I tell you what, that sounds like a movie I'd definitely sign up to watch. So I can't wait to see the actual
You're
session.
going to be part of it.
This idea.
You will be. You have a role in that film. You're not going to be watching it.
All right. Well, Thor's my favorite Avenger. So I've even got the dress up kit at home from a fancy dress party. I'll wear it.
That's a must, Steve. I actually, Dario, don't let him in without his
the god of thunder is going to steal some thunder. So be on alert.
Excellent.
Exactly.
Guys, we'll leave it there. It sounds truly wonderful. Dario, once again, I applaud you for the initiative. I think it's a fantastic thing to happen. The industry needs this type of movement, and it couldn't be done without the likes of people like yourself, Natasha, bringing the content, bringing the knowledge, and forming it into these sort of sessions that can just blow people's minds and help them sit up and take action. So congratulations to you both. I can't wait for it. In the meantime, enjoy a little bit of time off, refresh, have a great Christmas, New Year, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye, Natasha.
Bye.
Bye, Steve. Bye.